Yes, I'm here.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Sorry, I wasn't dialing the star part.
That's exactly what I did. I was getting this woman tell you get lost. So I call the meeting to order. Everyone, could I have an approval of the minutes from May 27th meeting? Could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve. This is Tracy.
Second?
Second, Chuck Blacklock.
Okay, thank you. We have a treasurer's report, Jamie?
We do. I'll quickly go over the report. It's our mid-year report through the end of June 2020. There has been, very little activity these past few months. Not much has changed from the last report. Our cash on hand is $333,940. There is the comparative balance sheet to last year, but like I said, not much activity. But we do have projects in the pipeline, and we'll see how that goes. We're keeping up with our budget for the year.
Any questions about the treasurer's report? Bob, could I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report, please?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it. Peggy.
Everyone in favor? Say aye.
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 Thank you. 501 State Street, number 584-20. Jamie?
So we have a series of projects this morning. All are looking for approval to hold a resolution and commence the pilot deviation process. This first project is at 501 State Street, the former Citizens Bank that was demolished just a couple of weeks ago. It's owned by Redburn Development Partners, one of their entities. Their plans are to take that site and build a 3-story, 50,000 square foot building. We have 49 apartments and then 3 retail storefronts along State Street. The total project cost is $10 million. Ray and I have been working with them for quite a while on this site, so we're excited about seeing it going. They are looking for an exemption from sales tax, mortgage recording tax, and looking for a pilot. We would hold a public hearing hopefully in sometime in mid to late August, and then as we talked about before, the pilot deviation process requires us to notify the city, the county, and the school district about the structure of the payment in lieu of tax agreement. So this resolution to get us started with those processes.
This is the vacant Citizens Bank that had this bizarre architecture that had a complete blank brick wall facing State Street. It over that State Street, and the bank was vacant. There were shootings and other things going on in the parking lot that were very bad. By taking down the building is one of the best things we've ever done for downtown. It opens up Clinton Street. It opens up Upper State Street on the Proctor's block, and we've got a great new development there. All approvals are in place in the City Planning Commission. The project moving forward, proven developer who's developed the buildings on Clinton and the old Foster hotel complex on State, and this property's right in the middle, so we're very excited to move this forward today. And the pilot will create new tax revenue for the community, as most of our pilots do.
Is it an apartment building? Is that what it is?
It's ground floor retail with apartments above.
Okay, that was going to be my question. What's on the first floor?
Ground floor retail, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's really great. Okay, any questions from anyone about this? Okay, could I have a motion to accept 584-20, please?
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Second, any other questions before we vote? No? Call the vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Passed. Number 585-20 North East Street, New York. If I got it right, the public hearing, I'll let Jamie explain this one too.
Right, this is a pretty exciting project for an expansion of the YWCA Northeastern New York facility on Washington Avenue. It has received its local approvals. They're working with a company in Westchester, Xenolith Partners. They have an excellent track record. It's a woman-owned development company. They've applied for state certification for WBE status, and that is pending at this point. But they've got a really good track record of working on these types of projects in the New York City metropolitan area. This is their first one in upstate New York. The plans call for building a separate wing in the rear yard of the property. It would add 54 units of housing and 18. Those of you who remember the Joseph Allen Apartments on Albany Street, it's somewhat similar to that in that there's been a lot of discussions with the state about this project. The state has already provided some seed money for the design of the project, and then eventually they will get some additional funding and support for the activities at the YWCA, which is a critical service here in the county, the only domestic violence shelter in the county, and they offer a variety of support services. But the facility is in really pretty poor condition, so it's going to be a tremendous upgrade and boost to the city. Their project, if everything goes well, will start in the summer of 2021. But again, the resolution calls for holding a public hearing, and then we would also look to add a pilot. It's a property that's never paid taxes, so it will be a boost to the tax base. Ray and I can answer any questions that you have.
I just want to echo what Jamie said. I mean, this project has, they did extensive outreach to the stockade. Peggy and Joe, I want to talk about that. I was frankly surprised with the support they were able to get to garner. They've received their approvals from the City Planning Commission. And by building this new building behind the current YWCA, they're able to then move folks back there and then gut out and fix the YWCA building, which, as Jamie said, is just horrible shape. It really needs a major renovation. So they'll preserve that building, which is a very important part of the stockade. And this is really the only way that they've been able to figure out how to save that kind of very distinct looking YWCA building in the stockade is by building the building behind. There's quite a bit of land and properties behind the building, which is interesting. And they go back there and build new, and then come up front and renovate the building that currently has occupied the YW for many, many years.
But did they, now there's a question, did they reach out to the Stockade Association? Is there all people on board?
They have, they've done a ton of meetings, and they've been working on this for about a year. And I was surprised given the opposition to the Stockade Inn, which is 22 apartments. Here you have 55 housing units, and there wasn't any opposition, and the City Planning Commission has approved it. Frankly, I was startled at the contrast between the two projects, but
I agree with you completely.
Yeah, I think it's the location of the project. I think that makes a difference. I don't know, but that seems to me where we're going to be. There is a lot of land out there. And I remember last time when they tried to do something, somebody tried to do something on Washington Avenue, it was about 10 years ago. It was almost a frenzy going on with the lot. So that's good that they moved out. Yeah.
Yeah. They also did parking in the back, so that doesn't add to the parking crunch in the stockade. Yeah. So I think that's one thing in their favor.
Any other questions about this, folks? No? Could I have a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion. Nick McDonald.
Okay, second.
I'll second it, Doug.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstain? Thank you. 586-20 Hotel Foster project. Jamie?
Right, most of you probably are familiar with the renovation of the Foster block, which was completed in 2018. Jeff Buell is the director of the development company. His company, not Redburn, although it's associated with Redburn Development now. The residential project with 21 apartments has been pretty successful. The commercial base hasn't worked quite as well. It's not fully occupied at this point. And then with our COVID trauma throughout the country has really caused loss of some tenants. It's become difficult to replace. There's also new costs associated with new tenants coming in. The applicant is looking for an exemption to help get their operating economics repositioned, refinance the property, kind of get it a little better uprighted. So again, we need to hold a public hearing. We need to prepare a pilot, which Ray's been working on with Jeff Buell, and try to move ahead with this project. This resolution was sent to you under separate cover, so I hope you all have that. Any questions, Ray, and I can answer them.
Again, this property was owned for many years by the city until Metroplex kind of stabilized the historic structure and then sold it to Redburn. They did a terrific job with redevelopment. As Jamie said, they got hammered by COVID because they had a restaurant operator going into the first floor who wound up backing out. Very prominent Schenectady native. A couple that own a couple of restaurants in Albany, but they put that on hold. They do have a shared workspace that's going into the property, so there's a lot of additional fit up that needs to be done. So this kind of helps us move forward with that whole Foster block in downtown Schenectady.
So, any other questions about this? Could I have a motion, please, for 586-20?
I'll move it. This is Becky.
Okay. Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Abstain. Thank you. Number 6, Yates Village, 587-20. I got to tell you, I drove up there yesterday. It's quite impressive. Jamie, go ahead.
It certainly is, Joe. It seems like yesterday we just approved this project, but we've been working with Penrose as the developer on this project. They've got a tremendous track record, and they talked about a phase 2 for Yates Village, and they're kind of ready to go and get going on it. Phase 1 is still in construction, but they've made a huge amount of progress. Like you said, it's definitely worth taking a drive by and seeing everything that they're doing. Phase 1 was a $25 million project. Phase 2 is a $70 million project that replaces 225 units there, reduces it to 211 units, but it's a complete makeover of that area. And the big point on this project was it's a Schenectady Municipal Housing Authority property, so they're working hand in hand as partners on this. But again, there's a pilot in place, so it takes a property that's been off the tax roll for decades and will generate new tax income for the city, the county, and the school district. Ray's been working on this for quite a while. Maybe you can add a little.
Well, just like the Citizens Bank building was like the ugliest building in any upstate downtown, Yates Village, everyone knows, was just a very distressed, very outdated, ugly, poorly designed, housing authority, classic housing project, post World War II, is badly in need of an upgrade. As Joe said, there's exciting redevelopment going on there. This is a major, big-time developer that we were fortunate to be able to attract to Schenectady. So the second phase is $70 million. And again, like the YW, like the Foster project, this also creates new tax revenue because, of course, Yates Village was never on the tax rolls before. So we're adding to the tax base, and it's Rich Hominick, the Housing Authority, has been a great partner on this, but we're very pleased to see the second phase of this move forward.
How many apartments are there going to be? Do you know that out there? I mean, it looks like new apartments that they're doing.
Yeah, it's really, they demolish the existing building, then they build a series of much smaller buildings with fewer units. So it ends up being 211 new apartments altogether.
Now, is it moderate pricing as far as rents go? You know what the, in other words, is it, I don't know the proper language I'm trying to get out, but.
Yeah, it's affordable housing, Joe.
It's affordable housing, that's what I meant to say, yeah, okay, that's interesting. But I would encourage anybody to drive up there and look, it is really, really fun to see what they're doing.
There's also just there's a 10,000 square foot community space that is built as part of the project, which is going to house, kind of shared services for SCAP and for a couple of other organizations to provide kind of services to folks on the north side of the city. So that's another bonus to the project.
Yeah, I was wondering what that building was.
Yeah.
Anyway, good. Could I have a motion to accept, let's see, 587-20, please?
I move, Tracy.
Second? Second, could I have a second, please?
Second, Doug.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you. The next one is 301 Green Street, 588-20. Jamie?
Right, this is similar to last meeting. We have a project that's going through a refinancing. 301 Green Street, Paul Schenectady, some associates of his. A terrific project in 2014, very successful housing project with 16 lot apartments. It's really helped kind of solidify that area in the Stockade area. The refinancing is fairly straightforward. Taking out First National Bank of Scotia, replacing will be the Bank of Greene County, $2.1 million, so there's no new money coming in. They're getting a 20-year mortgage, about 3.5%, just great solid terms, and IDA consent is needed because we have a pilot in the property with interest in the property, so we need to approve it in order for it to close.
Yeah, again, I've been driving by that, and that is another one that's really impressive for what they've done there the first time. Looks really good. Could I have a motion to accept 301? I'm sorry, 588-20.
I'll move that.
Second? Did we get a second?
I'll second it, Doug.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Stay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other business, sir?
If anyone is planning on any time off later in August, the week of the 24th, let me know. So we do have flexibility in terms of scheduling our meetings, but I would guess that we will try to get together again, and I would pencil in sometime in the last week of August.
Are we going to do it like this, or are we going to do it in real life?
We'll see. We'll see what comes out of the governor's office.
Okay. Good. Anything else, Ray?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for everybody's time this morning.
Motion to adjourn.
I got a quick question about how you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold the public here. So it would probably be done through WebEx. So we would schedule the time. We provide instructions in the public hearing notice that goes out that we work with Connie on, and then with any luck, we'll be able to sort of bundle these together. But I'm sure we haven't had a chance to talk about it. But we post the time, the place. People can call in. They can register in advance. So they have options for providing any comments on any of the projects. Okay, just wondering. Yep.
And we would run the public hearing?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah, probably, as you know, Joe, historically, we've always had the public hearing ahead, right the same day as the meeting, but we're probably not going to do it that way right now.
Oh, okay.
We'll do it separately.
I see, okay. Any other business, folks? Okay, could I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved, Doug.
Second?
Seconded, thank you.